Okay, so abstract class is a class where you can have can have some methods that is with a default implementation, and you can give some methods to implement by the childrens. So, for example, uh, you are calculating an interest, but the interest calculation is actually uh, is divided into like you have actually classes divided into a loan account, educational loan account, home loan account, etc. So interest calculation is depending on the uh, type of the loan account. So what you can do, you can create classes like this. This is loan account. So this loan account has actually personal loan account, home loan account. These are children's. These are derived from loan account to personal loan account and home loan account. So if we want to give like a loan account, there is, let me go ahead and create it here, project itself. I'm first creating the package. This is my loan account. So what I want to do, I want to give the calculation of the, I want to give the calculation of interest to my subclasses. I don't want to give, I don't want to calculate on, yes. Hello. Okay, so I don't want to give my calculations. I don't want to calculate at the loan account, but I want to calculate at the children level. So we have actually home loan account. We have personal loan account. So in loan account, we have actually something called public void deposit, where you can deposit certain big decimal amount. In also you have so this one I don't want to implement at this stage because the type of calculations are different for each type of the account. So I want to give this to my children. So like let's say children is when it will become children when it extends a account. Right? So I want to give the responsibility of calculating that interest to my home loan account and to my personal loan account. So here, right, in order to do that, what I have to do, I need to make this class as abstract. So you need to first make it abstract. and you need to make whatever the method you want to give the responsibility to somebody else, right? Your children. So you need to make that method also abstract. Then it's the responsibility of the children to implement this method, right? Okay, so here I can in the abstract class I can still have a non-abstract methods like this. Okay, so this is a non-abstract method. So the abstract class, right? Let me put it. Abstract class abstract class are declared with abstract keyword. Okay. Abstract class can have one or more abstract methods. It's not required actually. The abstract class need to have all uh, abstract method only. For example, if I comment this out, it still is a valid class. But the problem is abstract class cannot be instantiated. So let's look into this point first. So I will create another class called main. In the main, actually, I will type a main method. So I will loan account. I made it like a abstract class, right? So let's look whether I can make a instance of loan account. See, I can't make instance of loan account. The reason is abstract classes, when you declare abstract class, you can't instantiate them. The theory behind that abstract class is you are having some of the abstract methods where your children are responsible to implement that one. So until unless that is they implemented that abstract methods, it is not allowed to instantiate. You can only instantiate through your children. So these are actually some why you can ask me like why we need why we have a non-abstract methods. Non-abstract methods supports reusability. So there is something functionality where you can't actually keep everything in your subclass. So then actually the reusable code, right? Whatever we use across the children, you can keep that in the abstract class, and whatever the methods actually you are giving the responsibility to implement to children, they can implement on that one. So let's say in this deposit, right? I don't need to technically, right? If you think like a loan accounts, various loan accounts, depositing doesn't need any logic, right? It just takes your loan amount and deposit towards your interest and principal occur appropriately. So it's pretty much common as long as the theory of interest calculation is true. This is common, right? So depositing is, yeah. So depositing, I think somebody threw a whiteboard. We will see that later. So depositing is it my default method here, default method or a general method. Now I want to make this as a abstract method, and in the loan account, home loan account, is this? Yeah, in my home loan account, I will implement this one. So how I will implement? Just actually the same syntax. When you, this is the concept of overriding. Okay, think this one. This is the method is declared here. Okay, it's method declaration only. Method declaration only. Okay, implementation will be in child classes. Okay, so let's take the same syntax, right? We'll take the same syntax. We'll go to home loan account and we'll try to implement that. So implementation is actually with the as usual, like implementation starts with the block. But the whenever implementation comes, we should not have abstract method. So abstract keyword. So except abstract, everything should come and with a implementation block. Even here, right? You cannot actually have a abstract and then block. This is not allowed. The statement is terminated immediately after the method definition. Only here, the method definition only will be having. Implementation is in the subclasses. So let's take this one and go to personal loan account. So now let's go. I can't actually instantiate a loan account, right? So you cannot instantiate. Let me comment down. So now what I can do, I can create my personal loan account. To give personal loan account. And this way I can instantiate. So let's try depositing. So same, I will put a message. I'm not doing anything calculating, just like to explain you like how it is working. Let me do in home loan account as well. Okay, now let's go to our main method. Let's try calling deposit method. See, as usual, right? Whenever uh, this home loan account is having deposit, right? But personal loan account, it does not have deposit account. But because this is extending the loan account, it has access to the deposit, and also I can call the deposit method, the reusability. So I can pause. Let's say I want to pause this amount. So this amount I will be depositing, and I want to call personal loan account, calculate interest. So let's see, let's run this one. So depositing your loan account and you are in the personal loan account. Similarly, I can create home loan account. So if you run it, it will show you like whether you are now you are in the home loan account. The first one is in the personal loan account, and second one is the uh, home loan, in the respective loan accounts, personal loan and home loan. Now, right, um, by doing this one, actually, we are not following the exact Java guidelines of calling methods. So always, actually, we call the instantiate references, right? We always actually give the instantiate reference to the super classes only. So this is the way actually you can differentiate. Actually, we achieve the polymorphism. So we give a superclass reference here. This is actually, remember this one. We always give a superclass reference so that actually uh, you can downcast it whenever it is required. You can't actually upcast it every time actually, right? Uh, you need to downcast. That means you need to cast it to your exact class as required. Um, but otherwise, actually, like we'll just use uh, the super class objects so that actually you can get the runtime polymorphism. Also, it will be useful when you are dealing with multiple methods, right? Let's say you have another method called here. Let me take another class.
Sir, but you said.
Sorry, Dharani, you were asking something?
But you said that time upcasting only works in Java.
No, 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 no. Upcasting, you can cast it. That's why even today also we are doing upcasting only. Downcasting is wherever actually we're implementing specific responsibility. So let's printing balance. So let's say actually you want to ask like a show me like my balance, right? There is a bank application, right? You will it's not only for loan accounts, maybe they are printing for any other accounts as well. Or in today's example, actually let's take like a loan account. They won't differentiate uh, where what type of account. One way is this print of balance. You can keep it in loan account because it's a common method, right? Or actually, it's not loan account responsibility as per the our object-oriented or domain principles. We'll come to know what domain principles and are like where to keep what methods in later section. In that case, right? Let's say it's a bank application responsibility. So bank responsibility to print this one. So we'll give the method here. But when we implement this one, right, we won't implement this one for home loan account or personal loan account or anything, because my logic is common for most of other loan accounts or most of the accounts. Even I can go like a one more account itself, bank account. So that way, uh, so that actually I don't need to define this one, right, to the subclass methods. Like I don't want to define this one for public void print balance home loan account. And if Any new things joins, actually I need to implement again for, let's say for educational loan is coming, right? I need to implement it for educational loan again. So I don't want to do this one, right? Because my method is common. So I will, if I do this one, right? Let's say for Dharani's point of view, right? If we do home loan account and if we do like a uh, personal loan account in our example, so if I implemented like this, right, let's assume the first drawback is if I have like a one more uh, loan account extended this maybe educational loan or uh, any other loan, actually crop loan or anything, actually if it is extended this loan account, I have the first drawback is sorry, the first drawback is I need to implement that method also here, right? So which I don't want it. The second drawback is, now let's say I will also create bank account, bank application, new bank application. Okay, I'm creating the instance of this class and application dot print value. Now actually I want to pass, let's say this home loan account and this is personal loan account. I want to pass personal loan account here. I want to pass personal loan account here. So I can only pass the exact type. So if, for example, actually I didn't implement it for home loan. Let's say, for example, actually I didn't implement it for the home loan, a new account that is, which is added by somebody else. I didn't implement that one. So let's say now application dot print balance home loan account. So this will show me the compiler itself, because I am I am actually implemented the exact type here, personal loan, the exact type where I am doing it. So this is kind of a not a reusable program. So what we do, we actually generally we implement the common logic, right, with a superclass arguments only, with more like a superclass arguments, so that actually it is uh, the program I am giving extensibility. Uh, Without implementing further, the program can be extended. If some tomorrow actually some loan account, new some loan account comes, I don't need to change or I don't need to add my method signature. It works for each and everyone. So here also, right? That's the reason here also, like we will not actually we will always actually upcast it when we are defining our methods, when we are creating an instances of objects. So instead of personal loan account, this is okay, this is accepted, no issues. But this is like a more generic way of implementing. There is no issue in this one, but actually you can create this way. Uh, this is the way actually you can create instance of the instances. Basically, you can create instances. When you are creating instances, you always give a reference to the super class, but your actual implementation is this one. Again, the reason is to show you the polymorphism. Whenever you pass this to guy right here, he don't need to know like what is your class, exact classes, whether it is home loan, whether it is personal loan. He don't care it. So if he don't care it, right, why you need to give him the exact details like this, right? So you can give what he wants. So you can only give like what he wants it. So that way, yeah, you will eventually know more in the detailed programming. Uh, so as of now, right, okay, we can think that what he wants here actually. Well, okay, let me update it once in lame words. So what he wants you here, you can't actually, you want to provide the reusable method and you want to support the extensibility as well. So first thing, so you cannot go with the home loan account or personal loan account. For each loan account, actually you can have a different method. So simply actually by putting the super class, your job is done. Right? So you just go with super class and do that one. The first thing. Next thing is you don't want to give a specific uh, as part of the polymorphism principles, right? So you don't want to give like a specific again class because he only asking you loan account. Until unless he asks you like a home loan account or personal loan account, you don't need to pass it to him that appropriate information. So when you are defining, instead of defining at the exact type, go with a super type and improve your polymorphism, data hiding and all techniques. Okay, that's what it is. So, okay, that is here, right? Okay, now let's look at this abstract method one more time. So the abstract method, again I'm repeating, uh, abstract methods can only be there in the abstract class. If we not declare this abstract class, right, this method cannot be abstract class. Okay, so that's your another point. Okay, so abstract classes are declared with the keyword abstract. Why we want to use abstract classes is actually if the implementation is unknown for you at the superclass level and you have actually some default implementation, then you can go with the abstract class. Okay. Second thing is when you want to define a abstract class, you can define with the abstract keyword. Before class, you just need abstract keyword in the class declaration. Abstract class can have like a any number of abstract methods. It can be like a 0 or 1. It can be, it cannot have any abstract methods also. May not have any abstract methods. It may or may not have any abstract methods. That's up to the developer implementation. Some people they want like they won't want to instantiate this object, so they can create it like abstract. Though even though actually the implementation still resides here, they don't want actually to implement it here. Maybe you will eventually see that kind of example in the course duration. Second thing is this is the purpose. The why they want like a abstract non why they will define all non-abstract methods in a abstract method. This point, right? Abstract methods can have abstract methods or cannot have abstract methods also. So if I define this as a sort, right? If I comment out this one, this class, there is no issue at all. It still compiles and you can still actually achieve the default functionality through the inheritance. Okay. But only thing is you cannot instantiate this object. So it's like a waste. Always you need to go with the children only. And the last one, abstract classes are declared in abstract classes only. Abstract methods, if you want to define any abstract method, You can only define in the abstract class. Any questions so far?
Yes, sir.
Any? Dharani, is it good?
Yes, sir. Can you explain me one more time from interface? Because I joined 10 minutes later.
No, I haven't touched interface. I am going to know.
Okay. Abstract. Okay, sir. Then no problem.
Okay. Now let's go with the interfaces. What is interface? So similar. So far we learned about abstract class. When you know abstract class, right? You have actually abstract method, which is like a some implementation you are providing to children. So interfaces comes up with a similar concept. So interface actually generally stands like a contract. Let's say actually you are implementing certain functionality. So what you will first define it like it's like writing it like what you are. Okay. So it's writing what your method signatures are, and you are sharing to somebody else, and you are implementing them in a different class. So it's something like a contract. Let's say actually I am implementing here, right? In the same example, loan, I'm implementing for each loan accounts, right? I'm implementing certain things like a discounts. If they want to pay any discounts or anything, right? If they want to pay early, maybe I will avoid early penalties or anything. Actually, I want to give them a discount or early termination fees as well. Or let's make it like a very clear that calculate early termination fees. That's again defined at each and every loan account type. It's not calculate interest only, but this time actually I want to give early termination fees so that actually I will share uh, same thing to other people uh, and implement. Uh, they will also call that methods. So let's say now let's go and implement interface. It's not Java. When you how you implement interface is click Java class here, and here it's not class. You can choose interface directly. Interface, and then let's say so. This is my bank account is my interface. Now I will go with a method called public void calculate early termination fee. So this is also similar to your abstract class, abstract method. Here, public, okay, first is interfaces are declared using interface keyword. Okay, second thing is uh, all methods in interface are by default public. So the interface purpose itself, that one, right? You are sharing a contract to somebody else. So in that, actually, you cannot have actually a private. You can have, but there is no point actually having a private. Right? You are sharing to somebody else. So whether you are giving a public here or not, it does not matter. It's a by default it is public. It is accessible anywhere else in the throughout your application. And interfaces, all methods in interfaces are only definitions only. They will not have any method implementation. all methods in interface are definitions only. Okay, all interfaces in the interface are definitions only. How you use interface? Sorry. Who any questions? Okay. So let's go here and how you can implement interfaces. Let's say you can implement. It's not abstract actually. I'm not implementing at abstract level. Let's try at this one. This is extends non-account, right? So here, along with extends or without extends as well. Let's for now actually I will start with without extends. Without extends. So what I can do? Implements bank account. It's simply as the way actually how a class is extends, right? If you want to derive properties or methods from an interface, right, you can implement it. This is the terminology also like similar to the similar to the native language of English, right? So bank account, you are defining a method and somebody need to implement it. Definitely somebody need to implement it. Without implementing, this is nothing. The interface is nothing. There should be an implementation. So that's why the terminology is different here actually. Implements. The method here, whatever we have, right, in the bank account, is implementing by my personal loan, my personal loan account. So I can have here actually. I forgot that method name. So I can simply, if you want to implement, you can simply click the red bulb icon and click here. It will show you like what method you need to implement. So we'll talk. This is just an annotation. We'll tell you like a our Java documents are like help actually for you like to tell you like what is your method, what is overridden method. Uh, Only for information only. There is no meaning for that. There is no meaning for this one. The meaning is just like it's differentiating what is your method, what is implemented method. Even you can have this one for here also. You can have here. I mean, okay. Let me tell you like when you can have that one. So here actually you can calculate your calculating personal loan for you can calculate whatever you want, right? You can calculate early termination fees in this one. Now, along with implements, you can also have extends. You can still do that one. So now if you when do extends, that means actually you are extending the behavior of loan account. So now you here, right, you can have override. This is a override method. This is not your method. This is defined in loan account and you are implementing it here. So same way, the calculate early termination fees is defined in bank account and you are using it here. So what's another best example of interface? Like now there is, let's say in banks actually what they will do, they will be having some concept called like a identify like a what are all the or like a something like, okay, let's say pandemic came, uh they want to waive off, or they want to put like early termination fees on each and every bank account. uh, they want to calculate and see some reports, right? So okay, now let's say I will take it this one, report generator. This is a class. What I'm going to do, assuming that, okay, just a small change to my bank account. It's not void, maybe it gives like a big decimal. I'm just giving a default value. I'm not calculating, because I'm not implementing anything. So I'm just giving a default value. So I will go and implement for loan account also. Along with the extents, I want to implement bank account. So this is my home loan. Now I want to, what I want, I'm going here, bank report generator. So here, right, I want to calculate all my loans, how much actually, maybe somebody asked me, right, my supervisors or somebody asked, tell me like what will be the total early termination fees if I want to close all my accounts. So maybe I can calculate it. I can create a program, generate report, right? So I have actually all loan accounts. I have like a list of bank accounts. Let's assume that I have lists of bank accounts. I mean, these are not a instantiated, but or we can create, maybe like I have two bank accounts. I have two bank accounts. I want to find all all the early termination fees associated with all the bank accounts. So what I will do, so I might have given this guy, right, report generator guy. Okay, whatever the account, it does not matter. Just actually take the bank account. How the implementation, you don't need to worry. Okay, just take this account and and uh, set actually call the early termination fees, you will get that amount. So what he will do, maybe he will take like a for loop for each or whatever. So I'm iterating here. This is iteration. Here I can calculate simply like a maybe let's say So this is the way I can calculate all my early termination fee. But here, right, these guys don't know, even need to know like what is the type of the loan account. All they care, right? Whenever this report team, let's say that it's a modularized, right? Report generation team is somewhere actually sitting in some other place. That's a different team. You are responsible for creation of the accounts and calculating the interest, calculating the all business is with you. This guy is only report guy. He will just generate reports. So you don't want to give him all details. So whenever you, maybe he is also doing a parallelly started programming, and you are also started parallelly programming, right? So what he will do, uh, he he will implement based on this one, whatever his logic is. Let's say his logic is calculating the total interest rate. So he will use it as a contract, right? He will use the big decimals here because it's returning the big decimal here. So he will use the big decimals, and he will implement his logic. In the meantime, that's actually here, you already shared the contract to him, right? So in the meantime, you will implement that logic in your programs. Like here, right? You are extending it, home loan account. This is your logic, how you are extending. Okay, once your implementation is done, his coding is also done. Somewhere actually you both will integrate. Somewhere actually you both will integrate like this. Okay, first I'm setting up through a constructor the bank accounts. Generally, they may be in the database or somewhere, but I'm setting up in the so just setting up using the public using the constructor. Let's go here in the main. So what I will do in order to do it, let's create the instance of bank report generator. See here, what's wrong here? Anybody can guess it? What's wrong here? Why it is showing that constructor error? Sabha, Kavya, Dharani, Meenakshi. Madhuri. Or our new person will tell. Smriti, can you guess like why it is showing error here? Hello, am I audible?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Yes,
Kavya, yeah, can you guess like why it is showing error here? So bank report generator, this is my bank report generator, and I just created instance. It's showing me error. Like what is the error?
Because of that bracket, sir.
No. Okay. So when this one is absent, I explained you right. When this one is absent, that means actually there is a public constructor. By default, there is a public, no argument constructor will be there. The default constructor is something like this. It will be public bank report generator. This is actually a default constructor. So if you do this one, right, here actually it is compiled because the arguments are not expected in the bank report generator. But if I comment it out, meaning if I override this one like this, I'm actually overriding the default behavior. I want to set bank accounts. That means uh, I am asked this. I will comment out this one. So I am asking. There is no way that you can create instance of this one. You always need to pass when you want to pass like a bank account. When you want creating a bank generator instance, you should pass bank accounts. Then only actually you can instantiate it. So that's why actually here, right, the constructor, when I call it, it will throw or compile a time error asking that your arguments are not matching. You are creating like a empty arguments, but the expected constructor is this one. So that to fix this one, you should have a zero argument constructor like this. You need to keep that one, right? Or else actually you need to make a you need to pass the arguments here. Either of them you need to do it. I think yesterday only I explained it, right? Like by going to a class, dart class, and explained you like what's the default constructor, how it is there, and all. Let me show it again. So now, right, this is Java program. This is Java program. Right? I commented out all constructors. Let's go here once in the compiled classes interface example. Okay, until unless it is generated, it's not coming. Okay, 1 second, let me show that. Let me run this, maybe it will come. Yeah, so bank report generated. This is the class file. This is the class file. This extension is dot class. So dot class. See, the public constructor is there. Even though if you don't supply in your program, this is dot Java. This is dot Java. If you look into here, this is dot Java. Even though you don't have a constructor here, Java, when it is compiled, it is defaultly supplying this one. Same thing, let's say actually you supplied a argument constructor. Now, right, this will change it. Just run the previous program one more time so that actually the new class will generate. This is class file again. See, whatever the program you gave, it came. The earlier case, actually, there was a default constructor, right? Where is it? There is nothing here. Again, this dart class file, we are actually decompiling it. Meaning the bytecode to Java, we are uh, reverse casting it. That's what this program is. Just for illustration purpose only. You can also see it, but technically dart class files, you don't need to verify it. We will only deal with dot Java files. Okay, so here coming back to here, because here there is a default constructor is overridden with an argument, right? You need to pass, always pass, and there is no default constructor also with no argument. So you need to always pass, in order to create instance of this bank report generator, you need to pass the arguments. So the arguments here is bank account, right? Bank account array. This is declaration, new I will take only two bank accounts size. So here is the array declaration. This is bank account. This is similar to, either you can define it here or here. Both are same. Okay. The angular brackets, square brackets denotes that array declaration. You can define it anywhere. Like we can define at the variable, you can define at the class. So on the size, you need to specify the new operator. Okay, bank account of 0 is my personal loan account. Okay. Bank account of 1 is my home loan account. Now I am passing the bank accounts. Should be accounts. And just making like a more meaningful name. Accounts is multiple. Okay. Now write report generator dot generate report. If I run this one, right, let's see like what happens. It's actually going to call the respective report generator module, early termination fees, and then print that one. See, calculating ETF for personal loan, calculating ETF for home loan. How it came? You are actually, if you look into bank accounts, you are calling an interface, but your implementation here, actually you gave the implementation is on the personal loan account, right? This is what actually your implementation, you gave the references to personal loan account and home loan account, right? So actually it is taking the respective implementation and calculating it. So this guy, if something implementation changes or anything, right, this guy don't care. Okay, here you can say that and also applying some discounts. So for home loan, actually for early termination, you are applying some discounts. This guy won't care it, because as long as the contract given to him is same, this program is not uh, remains unchanged. See, the program, the result is changed, but his report program is not changed. So it remains unchanged until unless the contract changes. That's where actually you will use the interfaces. Interfaces are mainly for contract distribution. Like, what is your method signature? How you want that method signature should be, and what should be the you can expect in the return. Those kind of details actually will generally define in the interface, and the actual implementation you will give it to the subclasses. So any questions on this interfaces, Dharani, or anybody?
No, sir.
Okay. Madhuri, are you able to follow this? Anybody, Srujana, anybody, please echo it, whether you understand it or not.
So actually, I didn't get it properly.
Okay, which piece, abstract class or interface?
Sorry, interface, abstract, I understood.
Okay. Who is this? Is this Srujana?
So Madhuri.
Okay, Madhuri. Okay. Interface you didn't understand, right? Okay. Good. So let me explain that. Interfaces, the purpose of interfaces is actually, let's say, um, let me think of some real-time example, or your daily example. Let's say actually you have a the milk van, right? Every day it comes and gives like your apartment guys actually open your gate actually for milk or for like a mails or anything from 8 to 9, so that they can come and distribute it in newspaper or anything. So for them, right, the instruction, whatever it is giving, like 8 to 9, open the window for visitors or workers, is what actually is their standing instruction, right? Who will come in, it does not, they will care it. They will actually care only, the security guards only care whether the gate is open for visitors at 8 to 9 or not. After 9, 8, before 8, they will not allow you. After 9, they will not allow anybody else, right? So similarly, that's the instruction. So there actually you can think like that's a contract you are given to the security guard. What he is doing, how he is doing it, he is only obeying to the your rule that what he has to do it. He will only allow the people with this right visiting card or right this one, right, from 8 to 9. That's only his duty. After that, again, he will close that one. So similarly, let's think of this one. Who gave the or let's go back to that one. Somebody actually from your management society or anybody actually gave him the instructions that okay, 8 to 9 is our visitor window, right? So that actually he can open that. That instruction part, right? You can think like a contract. So the contract, as long as the contract remains same thing, that guy will follow to that contract. Similarly, now actually think about here in the interface concepts. When you are doing programming and Kavya also doing program, right? Your primary responsibility is calculating the interest, and Kavya primary responsibility is your primary responsibility is calculating the early termination fees for each account. If they want to terminate it today, let's say actually you have a home loan account. If you want to repay the entire amount today, obviously bank may be thinking of a certain uh, bank, when the bank gave it to you a loan, right? They may be thinking of a long-term tenure, a business with you, so that actually they can also gain or they can also put their manpower, their everything, right? They also will go with a certain uh, assessment, like how much actually they want it, because you are a customer to them. And today actually you came there and you want to terminate all your loan and you are repaying it all additional all thing, because you are repaying today and they lost certain income as a loyalty customer. Although you are repaying the total principal today, still actually they may incur some loss, right? They when you need money, they bought a money from somebody, right? Banks actually may not have money at themselves. They may bought some money through somebody else. So, and then actually put some business plan like, okay, because Madhuri is a customer here, maybe I should have uh, a nearest branch for her where she can come here. So they might have put a branch, something like not only you, but like 100 people are there in your area. So they put a branch also for you to make more accessible. And now actually like 50 people are terminating it. So obviously the bank may see some nearest losses, right? So the nearest loss actually how they cover is they put a penalty on you, because you signed a contract that okay, your home loan is 30 years or 20 years actually whatever, and you are repaying in 5 years term only. And because you are repaying in the 5 years term, they also see like some near or long term loss for them. Their customer base is reducing, so they will put some early termination fee. It may be a negligible amount, it may be a considerable amount. We don't know, like every bank will treat differently. So now that's a fundamental, right? Now actually coming back, as Madhuri, you are a developer and Kavya is also a developer. Somebody else also a developer. Now your team, Madhuri, Srujana, or your team is responsible of implementing this calculate early termination fee for each type of account. Let's say, Madhuri, you are responsible for home loan accounts. Maybe Srujana responsible for personal loan accounts, right? So you both actually will implement appropriate logic for your own responsibilities. Now, Kavya is not in your team. You, Madhuri and Srujana, you both are in same team, so you can discuss every time, every day, and you can implement your own work. But Kavya is not even your team. Kavya is in reporting team. If she wants to talk to you, right, she will feel that, okay, why I need to talk to a different team every day. So what you do, right, generally, you will exchange a contract. When you start work, right, you both will sit, you both teams will sit together and you define the contract, like how the method should be. That's where actually it comes like, okay, I will implement a bank account. Right, this is my signature of the method. All you need to care is like a call this method, you will get the return value and you calculate whatever you want, like a report, you generate your reports. Then Kavya will go and implement her own way, right? So her own way of implementation here. Internally, it helps you also, right? You are responsible for a home loan account, right? You will go and implement this one. And Srujana will go and implement a personal loan account in a different way. I'm just hypothetically showing it here, it's system outs, but actually there will be logical implementation inside that. Yeah, coming back to the interface. Now, so far actually you understand the culture, right? How the development environment culture. Now think about this bank account. If we don't have this bank account interface, now what should you do? You always keep, or Kavya will always keep bugging your team. You may feel annoyed, like, oh, why these other team members are asking, I have my own work, because it's her responsibility also to implement her own work. So until unless actually you implement it, she cannot start the work, right? So the one way is actually you both will implement without bank account. Maybe you both will implement here without bank account, right? Loan account. So without implementing a bank account or without implementing an interface, you will actually implement your own way. Srujana also will implement her own way. But Kavya has to wait until unless actually your program is completed. Then she will go and look at your code. She will know like what needs to be done. Because we don't want, in this example, we don't want Kavya to sit idle until unless you guys develop it. We want all parallel development. So that way actually, right? You, in the first agreement, you three will go and come up with a formal proposal that, okay, I have an interface. I'll define an interface. This is a common agreement between all three. We both will go and implement. Me and Sujana will go and implement this method. You call this method, you will get the results whatever you want. That's where actually we will close the discussion. And Kavya will go and implement here. You will go and implement in home loan. Sujana will go and implement in personal loan. So for this concept, do you understand?
Okay, sir, I have understood.
Okay. Now the technical part. Right? In order to define interface, it's similar to class. You need to have a interface keyword. It's not a class, it's an interface keyword. Second one is an interface will have all public methods no matter what actually you define the scope, until unless you define explicit scope. So this is a public. So you for example, actually, let's say create another package because they are in the uh, separate team, right? Kavya is working in a separate team. So this is in a separate package. So still she is able to call this one. Generally, right? What happens? The default packages, the package scopes, sorry, the method scopes, you know that, right? We have like a private, default, protected, and public. The other packages cannot access the default scope, but actually in this case they are accessing. The reason is all methods in the interface by default public until you provide private. If you provide private, actually you can't actually have a private also. If you are having a private, it's not allowed. Default, all methods by default, so public methods only. Okay. That's where actually Kavya can access your program. Second one, uh, the method, right, can only define here as a definition, like just what is what this method is. So it can have like only method signature, like it can have what is the return type, what is the method name, what arguments it can take. Maybe it takes years. So what arguments it can take and all, actually it can have it, but it cannot have the method body. It cannot have a method body here. That's not allowed. Okay. Those are the two concepts of interface. Like one is all methods declared by default public. All methods are just declaration or definition only. It cannot have the method body. So somebody else will use that one.
Is there
So,
any limitation of creating an interface? Like we can create any number of interface in a program and can implement them.
Yeah, that's very good question. I can implement any number of interfaces as I want it. So this is report generator team actually today. They want it, the early termination fees, right? Now, another team, another reports or another team actually, let's say the team is uh, fraud detector. So this team, what they will do, maybe they let me create package and move it here. It's not reports. So it's a vigilance or surveillance or like let's say fraud detection team. So it will go to, I will move this to fraud detector. So there is a fraud detector team. Let me put like a what in my hypothetical example, what this responsibility of this fraud detector team. So let's say some people, if they have like a excess money, right? Just they will open a dormant account, like some fake account. Fake account means actually on behalf of somebody else, and they will dump all the money over there for the time period. And whenever things settle down, actually they will close that account and they will take all the money just to avoid taxes or anything. Maybe let's say that you may need to pay taxes if you have bank account more than 10 lakhs. let's say actually somebody they don't want to keep all their, you have like a 1 crore, right? You don't want to keep all 1 crore in your bank account. So what you will do, you will open 10 accounts with your mates, relatives, whatever, right? And you will put that money over there, and all the money, right? Hypothetically, we'll say that because you can't trust anybody else also, right? So you will try to keep a eye on them. So all your, maybe actually in this case, right, all your address, all their account addresses you gave to your home addresses only. Just hypothetically, I'm thinking there might be like a lot of things happening underneath. We don't know that. Hypothetically, this is what actually somebody is opening a fraud. And as a bank, all right, it is your responsibility to identify such accounts and penalize them or report it to the government. So your response, another team responsibility came. That's what actually given a fraud detection team actually, a requirements given by some manager, and they introduce your team. You are the bank account guys, and this is the fraud detection guys. So we want to detect like a the fraud accounts across our bank, and how can I detect, right? So in this example, again I'm coming back. In this example, if address is same, and if address is same and account opening is near same, like maybe like a 1 day, 2 day, or a month gap, then we need to consolidate those accounts and send it to them, the fraud detection team. They will actually investigate physically to see like whether they are real accounts or fake accounts. That's what these people will do it. These people's job is they need to take, when the bank account is open, when the what is the bank addresses, these two things actually they will take it. So they came to you like, how can I read those details, right? So you gave them, okay, you want to those details. We already have bank account, right? And I don't want to share these details to you because it's already a primary responsibility is uh, this one is to calculate early termination fee. So what you will do, okay, let's actually create ourselves an agreement and we will implement it. So let's go here and create an interface here. It's like a interface. Let's give them some name. Name, it's actually, this account will have the behavior, this class will have the behavior to check whether it is a fake account or not. This is my interface. Fake account checker is my interface. Oh, no, no, not this one. Sorry. So all I want in this one, I want to return when the account is open and what is the address of the account. These details I want to return. Let's first actually define a model class. First define model class. So in this one, I have like a date, account open date, private string, address, first line, name of that course, name, private. What else? State.
The phone
Okay.
integer.
Yeah, I can store like a string also. For example, if I store in this format, right? It's a long or anything. But what if actually it comes like this or like this or like this with a country code? So better actually to store that in a string format, right? So that's why actually I took a string
Okay.
pin code. I mean, I can take this as a long. So these are my details, right? I want to share these details to somebody. So I want to create first. Actually, I will create a interface. The interface is bank details. Where is my fraud detector? Yeah, this one is my bank details. Okay, so I change the class name also, bank details. This is my interface. So here, right, I will tell that public, what is it? Account details. Account detail, get account details. So this is my, I mean, public is not necessary. I can remove it. So I create this interface. Maybe this time, let's say Sabah. Sabah is what actually fraud detection team. So Sabah and you actually will sit together and will come up with this approach. Hypothetically, again, I'm not real time, I'm telling that. Hypothetically, you actually will come up, sit, generally it happens. Two teams will sit together and come up with the interfaces needed between them. So um, you and Sabah actually thought about what need details you need and how I can provide. So by looking at these details, Sabah can implement her logic. So Sabah logic is something where this is fraud detect checker. So same way, she has a construct. Somebody actually getting her the bank detail. Now she is not interested in bank details. She's interested in account details. I mean, just a different word. You are not instantiating it. Okay. So here actually you are passing the argument. And here actually she will try to implement public void check fake accounts. So her logic will be, so iterate maybe for each bank accounts. So her logic is check actually what is my interface here? It's account details is not interface, right? Bank details is my interface. The name is not appropriate actually. I want to change names to something. Instead of bank details, customer details. So customer details is what actually she is interested to take it. Or where is the fraud detector? So she will get the customer details. From customer, she will get the account detail. Account detail. Account details equals to customer or account details. She will get it. Next step is she will check uh, how many opened in a month. Okay. How many are from same area, how much money deposited, okay, is address suspicious, okay, is details valid. So she will check and she will find out like maybe her job is like she will go and implement all these tasks on this one. While she is implementing this one, in the meantime, you and Srujana, right? You are responsible for home loan account, uh, right? You will go and implement, or maybe you are responsible. Yeah, you will go and implement your own logic. Implements bank account, customer details. So you also define customer details, and you will implement here actually your own appropriate logic for that one. Return new account details. Just for the time being, you are just returning whatever the return that you are returning that account details. Implementing so same thing actually will go and implement in the loan account. Sujana will go and implement in her loan account. So not loan, personal loan account. So your task is done and sub task is also done. Now, if you want to run this one, like once your tasks are done, right, you both will go and integrate wherever it is required. You will go and implement it. Okay, I think somewhere actually I did that earlier. Now fraud detection. Fraud detector, right? So this should be a public constructor because we moved to a different package. Fraud detector equals to new fraud detector. I'm passing same bank accounts. Oh, now I need account details. So similar to that, I will also create customer details. It's not bank account. So these two will be still casted as a customer details as well. And as an integration, like we can check for this one so that actually it will run this. So if you run this one, right, let's see. So implementing account details in home loan. Okay, personal loan. I just copy paste it. Yeah. So you're implementing personal loan, home loan, your job is done. So to answer your question, yes, you can implement as many as interfaces you can. Okay, Madhuri, do you
Yes,
did you get it? Yeah.
yes, sir. Thank
There
you.
is no limit here. Yeah, there is no limit here. You can implement as many as interfaces. It's all like how you are dealing with your customers, or uh, overall in a your architect. When you both, I said, right, when you both actually discuss in the initial meeting, your architect or your team leads also will be part of your meetings. They will actually generally come up with the right design required. It may be interface, it may be something else, it may be something else, right? But today we are discussing about interfaces, so let's stick to interfaces. Like, you come up with the interface like this, and Sabha will take that interface and implement her job, and you do your job. Okay. Any questions so far?
Sir,
Yes, Dharani.
abstract class and the interface both are used for abstraction, data hiding. Which one is best for full 100% data hiding?
Sorry, can you please repeat again, Dharani?
Abstract class and the interface both are used in for data hiding. Which one is best
Right.
for 100% data hiding? Like abstract class or interface?
Yeah. So that's actually a design decision. That's very good question. That you will get like a n number of times actually similar question. That's pretty much actually you can think like a well-known question or very important question also. So when you go for the abstract class, when you go for the interface, right? Interface is only with the methods. It does not have anything else. You can guess that interface can only have methods, but it does not have anything related to the class. Both cannot be instantiated. Interface you cannot instantiate, abstract class cannot be instantiated. So both are same at this stage. Now, by declaring interface, right, you are providing a multiple inheritance. That advantage you are getting it. So if you go to your home loan account, yeah, this implements multiple, but at the same time, extents cannot be multiple. Extents, you cannot have like uh, another loan account or anything. This comma extends, right, cannot support. So that's another a plus point in the interfaces. Interfaces can we can achieve multiple inheritance through interfaces, but not through classes. And the drawback of interfaces is interfaces cannot have a default implementation. Again, this is not 100% true. I'm going to explain that as well. Interfaces cannot have a implementation, whereas abstract class we have actually some implementation, right? Deposit and all. Interfaces cannot have that implementation. That's another drawback in that one. But that was only true till Java 7, but Java 8 onwards it changed it. What changed it? Okay, this is on class. Where I'm in classes. Yeah. So here we have a default implementation, right? So this default implementation is only possible in abstract classes. But when it comes to state, right, these are, you can think that interfaces are stateless, but whereas abstract class can hold state. For example, actually, let's say state means actually certain information that it can hold it. Private list, private int, total accounts. So here you can have that whenever the object is created, you can have some state, total plus plus. So you can have like a state here. Whereas in interfaces, you cannot have any state, meaning like it's a stateless. That means actually the interface, where is the interface? This one cannot have any state, like means cannot store any information on its own. So so far, is it clear, Dharani?
Yes, sir.
Again, I'm repeating. The
Okay.
benefits of interface is, okay. First, let's compare abstract class and interface. Abstract class cannot be instantiated. Interface cannot be instantiated. In that, they both are same. Next, it comes for the methods. Methods in interface, by default, everything is public. Whereas in methods in abstract class, can have like a both private methods, public methods, default methods, anything. But the method that is there, actually, suppose it, okay, where is it? Loan account. Right? This one I can also provide without any scope. It can be a default scope also. The method definition, it need not to be a public, even though actually you are giving only abstract method, it need not to be a public. It can be only it can be only there in the whatever, like it cannot be private for sure, because private, there is no concept. Right? It cannot be private for sure, but it can be a default method as well, or it can be protected as well. Protected is also allowed. So that's the second difference. If you want to narrow down some scope, again, according to your business scope, at this, I can't say this is advantage and disadvantage, but the difference in a class, in abstract class or class, you can define scope to methods. In interface, all methods are public by default. That's the second difference. Third difference is using interfaces, you can achieve multiple inheritance. Each responsibility is segregated. Whereas in abstract methods or classes, right? Abstract classes, it's not possible. You can only have one abstract class extension. I mean, we can have like a multi-layer, you can have multiple inheritance at same time. That's a disadvantage in the classes. Next advantage of classes is you can maintain a state, like you can have your own variables, or you can create your own state maintenance stuff using the abstract class. Whereas interfaces stands purely for the stateless application, stateless behavior. Okay. Dharni, is it good now?
Yes, sir. I can understand.
Okay. Very good. Any questions? Somebody is asking some questions. Okay, now I will go to interface here, right? I was telling about that interfaces cannot have a default, interfaces cannot have a method behavior, right? Method blocks. This was true till Java 7, but from Java 8 onwards, they also felt like why actually they can't give a default behavior, just like abstract classes. Why can't they provide just like this loan account, right? Why can't they provide a default behavior? So they added from Java 8 onwards, you can have your own default behavior here. For example, here, instead of checking for each account somewhere, here itself, a default behavior, you can check like a boolean. So you can, but the problem is it can only have a default behavior. Again, this default scope, you cannot have either. You can, okay, let's forget about it. You can only have the default behavior like this. The default behavior only, again, which is a reusable code where you want to do it. That's the only thing actually you can do it. So if you are calling this one right here, a fraud detector, so the magic, you can see it. Though actually here it is default, which is there in a different package, customer details. It's just the keyword only here. Default does not pay any specific scope. Here default is not a scope actually. That's what I want to say. So default here in the interface, though actually you are defining it as a default, it's not a scope. You are just telling that this is my default behavior, reusable code only. So you can use it. This is a package. This is in the package interface example. I am going outside of that package, but still I am able to access that one, though it is in a different package. Even though if you are maintaining this one, right, you still cannot have the state behavior. So for example, this is not possible. You cannot have a variable declarations here. So that tells you still, though they are providing a default behavior of the certain behavior for reusability purpose, but actually it's not 100% state maintenance. It still acts as a stateless. That's another difference. You can write anything here, the default behavior, whatever you want to do, right? So if you run this one, you can see that it's implementing everything. I'm checking for if customer is fake. For personal loan, I'm checking for home loan also, if customer is fake or not. Right, that's about interfaces. We'll also learn some static methods in upcoming classes, but this is good enough to start the collections. So what I will do today, I will check in all this code right away now. You can go and check it. Okay. All my code is checked in now. Database, table, students. So to check the code, Smriti, here you can go check it out. Let me give the link. I will also provide you access. So you will get an invitation to your email, Smriti. Uh, if you want help, actually, I can help you on the registration part. If you already know how to register, you can go ahead. If you need any help, actually let me know. I can help on that. But try to register for this one, right? You will have access to this GitHub code. So here is our code. You can go over SRC, right? Today program is there in training. You can see like where we did, right? Today we learned about interface example. So also you can look at the comment actually where it is coming from. So you can go ahead and look at today's program details. I'll try to give like a maximum comments in the code, but actually sometimes if I don't have comments also, like everybody, let's first go through like whatever we discussed today. If any questions, you can feel free to ping me. I will be online on the WhatsApp. You can ping me anytime. I will respond it. Also, if you need any call or anything, right, let me know in advance. Like I can, as of these days, actually, I'm getting full busy, totally busy. If I have time, actually, I will definitely give time slots to you, right? So we can jump onto a call and discuss on one-on-one discussions, or even if multiple people has questions, you all can come together, or you can bring it up early next day, right? You can bring it up early next day. This is our questions, and please explain. Or I want you to understand 100%. I don't want actually 70%, 80%, even 90% understanding. Whatever we discuss, right? I want a full understanding. Then only actually you will get the next concepts accordingly. So any questions, any doubt you have, right? You can immediately ask me, get it clarified. If you can't, if you don't know like a specific doubt, right? But if you still don't understand a concept, you can ask like repeat the entire concept. I'm happy to do that. But I want you to gain 100% knowledge out of this one. Whatever we discuss, you will also, when we discuss today means, I expect you that you understood, and tomorrow if any question comes, you are able to ask, you are able to answer on that. Okay, I am stopping here. One more thing, actually, let me check in one more thing. Tomorrow class will be on collections. So I'm checking in this one also to our resources section. Let me delete it, the class files. So Java collections PDF, I created something, it may be helpful. So just go over and read for tomorrow class as well. Okay, this is deleted. Let me. Out also, I don't want. Okay, I checked in all the code, and you can go ahead and verify it. So today assignment, what you can do is, on the loops itself, try something. Okay. let's say today assignment is, let's say you take all stars need to be there and your name, full name. Or if you give like a, let's say if you give Kavya, this has to be exactly in the middle, meaning it has 5 letters, right? So 5 letters where it will come? It has to be like a 15 stars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so till then there will be space and then name will come. Okay. After this, another exactly this portion is coming with whatever the name you take, whatever string you take, it has to be like that. So exactly in the middle, the name has to come. Whatever the string I pass, it has to be in the middle of the two asterisk marks, 2 lines. If I pass Sabha, right? So same thing Sabha. Sabha is only 4, right? If I calculate Sabha 4, right? So I want, so 4, again 4 words, 4 stars left, 4 stars right. So it should be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this will be my this one, and name will move 4 in the second line. Name will move appropriately, like a 4 name will print after 4 spaces. So that's what actually I want you to print it and show it to me. Any name I can give, like a random name, like a Java. It's not this one, right? It can Java. So it should be exactly in the middle. The middle line should be exactly in the middle when you compare to the the lines. Can you do that?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, it just loops. Okay. Yeah, let's try that one today. Again, tomorrow we'll see database collections and database as well. So Smriti, did you register now? Okay. Okay then. Very good. That's all. Like tomorrow we'll see it again. We'll start on the collections tomorrow. Okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Bye-bye.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Bye.